let's turn to another small cap. Zero Strategic Metals has completed a preliminary economic assessment for its flagship Tiros Rare Earths and Titanium project in Brazil. The project is one of the largest rare earth and titanium deposits in the world and is aimed at tapping into demand for critical minerals. Joining us now is Chief Executive Chris Eager. Chris, welcome.
Thank you very much.
This sounds exciting then. Tell us a little more about the Tiros Rare Earths project.
Well, it's one of the largest titanium and rare earths projects in the world. We've got a measured and indicated resource of 1.4 billion tonnes, and our grades are 2 or 3 times the average grade of a soil-hosted or regolith-hosted rare earths deposit. So we have all the advantages of being a clay-hosted deposit with size and grade.
So you're looking at potential dual revenue from both titanium and rare earth products.
Exactly. We've produced 2 titanium products, one for the pigment industry, and the pigment industry around the world is about $22 billion a year industry, and it goes into every white product that you see around you, and it grows at about 2.5% compound annual growth rate. So that's a great market to be in. The mine feedstock for the pigment industry is in deficit. The pigment supply is in surplus. And then the second part of it is titanium dioxide for titanium metal production. And that's a really exciting market. There's a lot of new technologies that use titanium. Obviously, a big usage in aerospace. So that's a growing market. It's a smaller market, but it's a growing market. And then we have the total rare earth oxides. So we have the neodymium, praseodymium, and dysprosium, which is required for the supermagnets, and some minor rare earths that go into electronics and other high-tech applications.
I'm glad you said those elements and not me. They're very difficult names to get across. So what's the next step? So you know what's there.
Yes.
What's your planned development?
Well, what the market has been waiting for the last 18 months is what's the economics of extraction. And we can build a relatively small operation, 500,000 tonnes per annum, to produce about 3,600 tonnes of total rare earth oxides and about 90,000 tonnes of titanium dioxide. So our next step is to go into preliminary economic assessment. We've just completed, pre-feasibility study and feasibility study. And because we're looking at building a relatively small operation which produces large volumes of products, we think we can jump the queue and go towards production very quickly. And our NPV for a smaller project is around $715 million US, which is about $1 billion Australian dollars, compared to our market cap today, which is about $35 million. So it's a big market alpha opportunity for investors.
What environmental hurdles do you have to get across? And are they potentially an issue?
No, we're in a very good location in Brazil, flat cattle grazing land. And the environmental agency in Brazil is very tough but fair. And as long as you go through the steps, you can get your EIA quite quickly. We're well into data collection and report writing for our EIA. And once that's complete, we can apply for our mining installation license. And that can all be done from go to woe in 2 years in Brazil. Brazil is one of the better places for permitting and going through your environmental process.
Well, I was just going to ask, what is the sovereign risk there? You feel it's fairly minimal, don't you?
I do. Brazil is seen by most of the mining community around the world as one of the best places to develop a project. And we're in the state of Minas Gerais, which means general mines. We've got the largest niobium mine in the world, very close to our project area. It produces 90% of the world's niobium. There's gold projects, some very large iron ore mines. Our location is also brilliant for infrastructure. We've got a hydroelectric power project just to the north of us, high tension power lines going through the project. We have highways going to the project. We have a railway line at the bottom of the project. And we have a very positive and supportive community who have seen the benefits of mining through the niobium mine and various other mines and are looking for work.
The mine itself, so is this all open pit?
This is a clay layer that stretches 71 kilometres. We've drilled the small section in the middle, about 7% of it, and we have 1.4 billion tonnes. So it's free digging, no drilling, no blasting, and we rehabilitate as we go. And of that 1.4 billion tonnes, we have about 1% of that in our mine plan for 20 years. And that produced our sort of $715 million NPV for the project.
How well funded are you at the moment? I see you're actually hosting an investor webinar tomorrow. Are you going to have to tap the market?
We will. What we want to do is get the story out. We've got quite a lot of good news coming in terms of off-takers for the products and quite a few other good news stories coming out of the company. So once that's disseminated into the market, then we will do a capital raising, yes.